Bring her to me.
I'm just gonna say so keep talking.
Okay, so he goes over, and then he's like, okay. And then he like reads the person's mind, and he's like, oh, this is true. I see now that I was folly.
Folly?
I was folly.
I see that I was folly.
So you see that he was folly.
Okay. He sees that he was folly.
I don't even know. Did you put it to record me?
No.
I swear to God, if you did. By a few days, I see last night I won. Juan talking about Twilight. Lol. I'm gonna kill you. So fucking. So then they're there, and then
And you're just gonna stop talking. You're just gonna stop being funny now.
How am I being funny yet?
Just keep going.
Okay. So then they go, and then they're there, and it's like one guy. It's like one side, and the other guys, and they do this like camera shot where it looks like there's like 6,000 bad guys like crawling over this enormous plane, and there's like a zoomed out shot, and there's like just like 40 of them. It just had like the very edges of the camera on the very edges of the line, so that it looked like it went further, but it didn't. So it was just like, and there was like,
maybe like 2.
20, no, and there was like 22 of the other guys, and then the wolves came and they were with them. The wolves are actually pretty cool. I like them in the story. The vampires. Oh, and you know what they did?
The vampires suck.
You know how they sparkle?
Yeah?
I had a scene where the fucking girl just goes into the sun, like, all sparkly and shit, and I was like, ah!
So wait, what about the lava?
I'll get there.
Okay,
So, you know how they have powers and shit?
Uh-huh.
Well, one of them could control the elements and shit, like fire and
really?
snow and water and dirt and... What the hell? Oh.
Okay. Don't want to know why that's there, but okay.
It's yours!
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Don't worry, it was over underwear. I didn't even get that deep, it was here, it was on the leg skin.
Keep fucking talking.
Just hope. Keep talking. So then, okay, so then one, like, all the people have like certain powers. One is electricity, one can like make a force field around people so they don't get hurt and shit, blah blah blah. So he goes, like, they bring the people over so that he can read their minds and realize that it's true, they're not guilty of anything or whatever. So then he's like, okay, so you're innocent, blah 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 blah. But, brethren, talking to his group of people, what we have to fear today is the unknown and this newborn thing that is like a hybrid of men and vampires. We don't know what this is. So maybe one day it'll harm us. I think we should attack anyway. Pretty much is the gist of a 15-minute speech.
Okay.
And then, so they're all ready, and then the main reader girl comes, and she's just like...
She came from where she had to be.
Longest walking scene. It's like 2.5 minutes of like, alright, this is the circle, or like a plane.
Okay.
This is one group, this is the other group. They come from here, and it just shows the entire... the entire way, all the way to walk into the bad guys. And she's like, I have seen the future. She's not gonna harm us. Look. And she's like, well, look. So he grabs her hand, and he reads the future and shit. And then
Wait, grabs her hand or what?
in order to read the people's minds, he grabs their hands.
Okay.
So she comes and she can read the future. So she sees the future, she thinks about it, and then she gives him his hand and she looks and he sees the future through her power.
Okay.
So he's like, okay, so she's not gonna harm us. And then
Can do it.
I don't remember exactly how it happened. Oh, okay. So do you remember that I said that the girl had like seen them, or what random girl had seen them and like, reported them to like the authorities?
Yes.
Okay, well she was like, and then after that she was like, okay, so it looks like there's nothing. So then she comes up like, okay, I take full responsibility. He's like, okay. And then 2 other ones grab her, put her down, one rips her head off, and then he takes up a torch, sets her body on fire, and that sets her head on fire. And then like the lead vampire guy, like the dad guy, he's like, no! No, then Alice, the mind reader girl, she's like, no! She's like, no! And then she like starts trying to fight. No, she kicks him. She kicks the main guy. And then he's like, oh, now you've started a fight. We must kung fu fight. And then he goes and he starts trying to, and then they like start a fight. And then Dad's like, no! And he runs out to try and save her. And then the other the other guy, the main guy, jumps and he like flies and there's like a 20-second, and he like rips his head. And then he's like, you see, like, you know, this is one of those very cliche.
Oh.
And then, like, you see him dead, and then you see the other guy holding the good guy's head, and everyone's like, no! And then, no! And so then they all start running, like, and then they fight. and then it's this intense fight scene, and people are dying, and everyone's using magic and shit. This one guy makes this black clouds come out of his hand, and they just like make you deaf, dumb, blind, and every other null of sensification. So everyone's just like,
Null of sensification.
null of senses.
Okay.
So then they keep going, and then right on the rim, when people just comes up like, and then Bella has like the power where she's the guardian person. She puts a force field on people and they can't get hurt. So he does that on Edward, I think, and then Edward comes and he rips that guy's head off, and then he has a sister who can like just like by thinking something make people like in pain and shit, and she's like, ooh. And then he's like, oh. And then she was like, ugh. And he was like, ah. And Bella was like, no. And then Alice, she sees that girl and she's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you. And she runs, and then the blonde girl's the girl that does power. She's Chloe, by the way. You know Chloe?
Chloe from what?
That blonde girl that's popular, that everyone likes. Superbad. A lot of that little blonde girl that's like a teenager now that's in a lot of fucking movies. Anyway, so that's her. And
McLovin, that's all I know from Superbad.
Not Superbad. The one with the superheroes.
Kick-Ass?
That one. The girl from Kick-Ass. Do you remember?
Yes,
Did you see that movie?
yes.
Okay, so you know how that girl in a lot of movies.
Girl with the wig, the purple hair.
Yeah, but you know how she's like actually blonde. She's in a lot of movies
Yeah.
and whatever. Okay, so her. She's that girl. So then,
Superbad.
and Alice sees that she's hurting him, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you." And then Bella sees her, and she's like, "Force field, go!" And then she protects Alice, and then that girl's like, "Oh," and she runs away, and then Alice like kicks her ass and rips her head off, and then someone sets it on fire, and it's like, "Yeah!" And then a lot of other people, and then like these two Russian guys, the good guys, that like they've wanted to get revenge for a long time, and then another one of the main bad guys, he's just sort of like, "Ugh," being big and stupid and big. And then they come up like he's here, and they come like, and he's like, and then he's just like, finally. And then there's this really quick flashing of a scene, and you just see this, like put your hand here like this. You just see like this, like, and then another second later, his body's all dismembered, legs and arms everywhere, and they're gone. And it's like, what the fuck just happened? I blinked and I missed it. It was literally, if you blink, you miss it. Like, you know how that's an expression, and it's not usually true. Literally that. Literally, like, shit. Like, that's how quick that scene was.
Jesus.
And then, so this whole time
So
there's
like
a bunch
the polar
of
opposite of that girl walking across the field. The one that she walked.
Oh yeah. Like, it's like the entire time, this one was like.
Go on.
Okay, so I forgot. I was trying to find my place. Okay, so everyone's fighting, and the wolves are biting people and ripping their heads off and shit. And you see these two vampires like come up and they crack a wolf's head, and he's just like, and then like this wolf had a girlfriend, and you see the girlfriend, she's like, and you see him like, and then she's like, and then it goes to Jacob had run away. No, because Bella made him, Bella said, okay, if we have to fight, then I want you to take the, oh yeah, and like apparently before she was even born, Jacob decided I'm gonna have sex with the baby.
Oh yeah, that was in the last movie, I think.
So he has to protect her. So she's like, if we have to fight,
he has to fuck her.
No, she has to. So Bella was like, okay, so if we have to fight, then I want you to take her. Here's some passports. Take her and just run away. And he's like, okay. And then when they started fighting, he was like, and then you see, and then it goes back to him running through a forest. And when that happens, the wolves die. You hear, oh, and then you see him like wolf crying, and it's all sad. And I'm like, doggy. And you see the vampire chasing him, and then you see the little girl like, Jacob! And like there's like another like 2 seconds of, and then you just see him like, it's like a shot of like, okay, ground. The camera's here looking kind of that way, so it's like an upward angled shot, and you just see him like, boom, and then you see like the head, the body of the vampire guy just fall, and the head just kind of roll on screen, and it's awesome. And you see him like,
Okay, I get it. Go on.
And then like they're losing, like a bunch of bad guys, the good guys are losing, and a bunch of good people are getting their heads cut off and shit. And so that guy that can control shit, he's like, no, how can I help? I know. And he fucking splits the ground open. Fucking literally stone ground. It's like,
Okay.
And then you just see like lava and rock underneath, and like all the good guys start fucking literally Sparta kicking the bad guys in there. There's literally like a slow motion where you can see her mouthing. And the guy just like. You see a lot of people falling in, and then the mom lady is getting attacked, and she falls, and she's like hanging on an edge, and another guy's like trying to kill her, like edge girl, lady friend and guy, and they're like fighting, and the wolf lady, the good wolf lady that went ooh, she was the wolf girl that was sad. She was like and she jumped and she grabbed the bad guy, and then she fell, and the mom was like ah! And she looked down and she's a wolf, and you literally see a wolf, and it's the saddest thing, and she's like ooh, into the lava pit, and you don't actually see her fall, but like this is the lava, and you just see like ooh, and then it goes to another thing, and it's fighting, and then like the good guy, and then the main guy, main bad guy, he's like, oh, I'm gonna get involved now that every one of my people is dead, pretty much.
Who is the main bad guy?
I don't know, some leader guy, apparently the leader of all the vampires in the world. So he's like, I think he's like Dracula or something, but they named him Aros or Arnos or Arnos.
Okay.
So, you go like you see Edward like running towards him, and you see him running towards Edward, and then you actually see that he was actually running towards Bella, and you like punch her in the face, and she's like, oh, because she's useless. And then like,
Edward's like, no!
And Edward's like, no! And he goes, and they all start, and then the three start fighting, and they like beat his ass, and then they rip his hat off, and they throw it, and they set it on fire, and he's like, and then like it's this huge commotion, and everything's dying, and everyone's winning, and a lot of people are dead, and suddenly he goes like, the scene just like flashes, and then you just see like him there earlier, grabbing onto the girl, looking into the future's hand. She's like, that's your future if you keep doing
What?
It was actually kind of awesome. It was awesome.
No.
Like, yes, that was awesome. And no one had died, and no one was dead, and all the good people were still alive, and there was no breaking, and there was no snow, and Jacob never ran away.
What the fuck?
It was actually awesome, and he was just like, oh. We will not fight today, gentlemen.
Wow.
The future. And then they all run away.
But just like that. Okay. Okay.
And then they escape. And they're like, yeah. Actually, no. So then she's like, well, that's pretty much the end of the cool part. That's the big fight scene.
And then Kristen Stewart did her thing.
And then Kristen Stewart, she's like, Jedward.
Jedward.
He's like, Edmund. Fuck. Edward. I have to show you something. And she's like, and she kind of does like this.
Oh.
And so I swear, it's gonna be like, I have to show you something. And it's gonna be all sparkly, and I was gonna be like, this, I am not opposed to this. And then she's like, I have to show you something. And this is like this, like, you know, like those cheesy collage videos, where it's like a nice romantic song with a bunch of like flashbacks. It was basically that for the last like 3 minutes of the movie. And he was like, I don't think. No, she was like. Like
that pose, everything. I don't think.
She's like, I don't think that anyone loves you as much as I do. And he's like, I can think of one exception. And then they make out, and it goes to the credits.
I didn't understand that.
What?
What?
She's like, I don't think anyone in the world loves you as much as I do. She said that. That's it. Loves.
And then what did he
as much
say?
as I do. What? And then he's like, I can think of one exception.
Wait.
I don't think anyone loves you.
Does that mean?
No, I don't think anyone in the world. I don't think anyone loves anyone as much as I love you. It's not something cheesy. No one loves as much as I love you.